The following podcast contains adult language and themes, so don't say we didn't fucking warn you.
You're listening to SarahTalk. It's political.
Whatever the condition is in their home country is so bad that they're willing to go through that long, arduous trek to get here, where we've promised this American dream idea. The least we could do is when they knock on our door or help them.
Critical.
When was the last time a Christian was allowed to have a separate place to say their prayers? Look, you can literally bow your head at your fucking desk. You're like, why did he get the thing and I didn't get the thing? You didn't ask for the thing!
And positively LGBT positive.
Look, and whenever there's someone coming after my community, they are either wearing a MAGA hat, carrying a Bible, or more often both.
Oh, and occasionally completely absurd.
What the hell is in Idaho?
Potatoes.
Anyway? You could take a drill a
Drill up
hole
in
in
a
a potato and
you'd
fuck
be
a potato.
fine.
Would you marry a potato though? Could that be okay?
No, but you wouldn't have to marry a potato because a potato doesn't need consent for you to fuck it.
And now, from Haines City, Florida, your host, Sarah Austin.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sarah Talk. I'm Sarah Austin, in with the lovely Becca.
Am I? Am I really?
This might be a show tonight.
I don't feel like it.
You know, sometimes we all feel a bit sad.
And life is fucking gross.
Yep. So there was a serious moment where I thought, you know, and this happens to, if you've been listening long enough, you know that this happens from time to time where I just go,
Yeah.
fuck it. But
We're here.
we're here.
We're queer. And we want beer.
No, we don't.
No.
Okay, Brett. I have my rum.
I'm actually drinking root beer tonight. I thought about putting some vanilla ice cream in there and making a root beer float in my unicorn pool float.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
I was really prepared to come in here and fight with you because I was really sure I was going to get coaster shamed tonight.
No, I like it. It's cool.
I thought so.
Yeah. It fits. Yeah, it's appropriate.
I'm glad it fits. I was afraid it was going to be too big for the desk.
Not enough room on the table.
I brought a little step stool to set it on the floor next to me if I had to.
Oh, jeez.
It's all good.
So, what are we going to talk about tonight? No, that's a question. 224-40 Sarah. 224-407-2724. Because I really don't know what we're going to talk about. No, but so let me just say that, you know, I get this feeling from time to time. I get this way.
Yeah.
And the easy path, the path of least resistance, is just to say, oh, let me post a quick update in the thing, and sorry guys, we're not doing the show tonight.
Yeah.
You know? But also there's something about the authenticity of being able to come on here and actually talk about it and say, like, you know, hey, it's been a really rough week, and and life sucks sometimes, but we're still here, and you know, you are out there and you feel the same way sometimes too, and we can commiserate over that.
It's therapeutic in a way, I think, to just be able to come in here and lock the door, and you know, even if it's for 30 minutes, just it's 30 minutes. But you know, I don't know, like when you said I don't know if there's going to be a show, I was kind of like, yeah, but then I was like, no, we got to do it because I feel like that's like when you stick it out and do it, even when you don't want to. That's sometimes it's just better to do that. Yeah, because you don't create that.
You're not playing into the negativity, into the swirl. So, happy International Atheist Day.
Happy International Atheist Day to you.
Happy.
That's really a mouthful.
Some happy stuff. Yeah, it is.
Happy.
You can shorten that for Atheist Day. If you've seen us, or well, I changed mine. But if you've seen your friends, or you may have done this yourself, if you see some folks with changed profile pictures on social media today, it's a green circle. That's a frame.
And
nobody knows what it means.
That's really cool.
Right.
Like, I didn't see it because I haven't really been spending a lot of time on social media this week.
Right.
I've been trying to not and play my little games, but I'm not going on Facebook because I feel like it's
right.
Sometimes it's not worth the toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did see like a couple, like, because we have like a group chat going, and so you every now and then you see, what is that? And so I had to like click on it and look at it. That's pretty cool though.
International Atheist Day is it was started by Atheist Republic, and I'll just read a little bit of the declaration. Maybe I'll read all of it. We have time. We atheists and atheist allies hereby declare that from now on, March 23rd is Atheist Day. We recognize the struggle of atheists to live authentic lives in many parts of the world, the struggle to openly affirm one's atheism, the fear of intolerant governments, mobs, and religious zealots. This struggle often includes the risk of professional, social, and familial ostracization. Sometimes this authenticity results in paying the ultimate price, one's life. Many of our brethren have been brutally murdered for professing the very principles that this day represents, the freedom of and from religion, the right to be free of discrimination and persecution, and the freedom to profess one's beliefs. Many of us happily interact with people whom we admire and trust, who, unbeknownst to us, are closeted atheists. The world is full of atheists who are silent about their true convictions. Why? Simply this: a fear of reprisal and discrimination based on misinformation, ranging from the subtle to the life-threatening. People should not be persecuted for their lack of belief in a God or a religion. That's all we're asking. Some people, however, believe that disagreeing with deeply held beliefs is hate, but it's not. We wish to remind our fellow human beings that many of the most powerful ideas that changed our world, were once heretical. Many of the most radical thinkers and reformists in past eras were blasphemers against the established order of their day. And then it's like there's pages and pages. I'm not going to read the entire thing. I was joking. A coordinated coming out. Many who leave religion are fearful of coming out. For those who live in a region of the world where leaving their religion doesn't entail a risk of physical harm, we also have a coordinated coming out campaign. This campaign is central to Atheist Day. Even if you've not adopted the atheist label, but have chosen to leave your religion, your conscious choice to come out is what our day represents. We believe that people who leave a religion need not keep it to themselves for lack of solidarity. Atheist Day is your day to tell your story, to share your pride in making a conscious choice to define your own identity vis-a-vis religion.
Now, if you're following along in the chat, Dan has posted a link to that.
Well done, Dan.
So you can go and read the whole thing. That's awesome, Dan. Thank you.
Oh, I haven't looked up the changed names.
Speaking of chat,
yep.
Victoria says, referring to the Facebook border, nobody knows what it means or no one believes.
Yes.
And Russell says, some people count on hearing y'all every week, even if it is a faked show. Now, I'll have you know I don't fake anything, except for kindness, sometimes.
Sometimes. Yes. I mean, so, Russell.
Go on.
Next week, just for you, we're just going to read from Breitbart.com.
Oh, Jesus. No.
Rather than put on a real show, we'll fake one.
No, we could get Flat Sarah and Flat Becca to sit in the studio.
That would be funny. I'll just put on a 3-hour loop of the elevator music, and it'll just be a picture of us.
Coming soon.
Flat. Yeah.
And it won't be like, yeah.
Oh, God.
How to keep an idiot occupied for hours. Just kidding. Oh, crap. Oh, shit. The dog's under the table.
Do you want me to fix that, or do you got it? That was really funny. So the dog is under the table, and she has her plush bed, and she's dragging it around. Yeah, that's good. Too far. Back the other way. There you go. And so she's dragging the bed around, and she's like grab a hold of it and like throwing it around, knocked into the. That was really funny.
Oh my gosh!
And now I'm watching it on delay. You had it spot on the very first move.
Wow.
Then you just went too far.
Well, I always go too far.
So the last section here on the Atheist Republic statement is gratitude. We, the founders and proponents of Atheist Day, are grateful to our atheist allies. You do not need to be an atheist to be a vocal supporter of Atheist Day and an atheist ally. Respect for the rights to self-determination, free speech, and a level playing field for ideological criticism is what we and our allies all share, even those atheist allies who profess a strong religious belief. It's not about respecting ideas, it's about respecting people and their right to choose their own beliefs. For our atheist allies across the entire belief spectrum, we are truly and deeply grateful for your support. We may not share a God belief, but know that we see you as our brothers and sisters in humanity. Gratitude, solidarity, and love. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So on the calendar for next year, we need to have a big to-do on Atheist Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do something, definitely.
Yeah. I hopefully our group will have built up by that point.
Have you seen, we have 69 people in our group now, which I think is hilarious. But, yeah, for what? It's been, a month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, something like that. It's growing quickly.
That's very, very awesome.
And the more things that we go out and do, the more that will draw people to us.
Yeah.
All right, we start having these educational meetings in May. We're going to be at Pride in June. All of that visibility stuff will definitely help. Dan says, love the names of the endorsers.
I must have missed.
Oh, I can't read it from that far away. Atheist Republic. So tiny font. Ex-Muslims of North America. Atheist Freethinkers. Oh, wait, I can pinch and zoom here. That's not a language I know how to say. Muslimish. That's fun.
Oh my God.
Council of Ex-Muslims of Britain. Ex-Muslims in North America. Council of Ex-Muslims
Lots
Jordan.
of ex-Muslims.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well.
Russell asks, is Atheist Day always on 3/23?
No.
I had the same question because that is our parents' wedding anniversary. And it would have been hilarious.
So,
but it's not.
Atheist Republic's Atheist Day is on March 23rd. Okay.
So I was looking at the other, another thing.
Yeah. So let's do let's do a mock episode of Citation Needed, and we're gonna pull up a Wikipedia file and talk about it as if we know what we're talking about.
Oh my God! Stop it! Stop it!
What?
So we were in a group chat and somebody asked about this, and so I sent a Wikipedia link about a different day.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So what you're thinking of may be the National Day of Reason.
Yes.
The National Day of Reason happens on the same day as the National Day of Prayer.
Which I think is amazing.
Right? No kidding. And that is celebrated on the first Thursday in May every year. That coincides with the National Day of Prayer. The history of Atheist Day. I'm doing this on the fly, kids. This is what happens when you don't plan a show.
Dan says Muslimish reminds me of monogamish. I don't know what that is. Is that another podcast? Because if it's not, it should be. A la Dan Savage. I'm going to assume that, it's probably some kind of...
Okay, so April 1st is also had been claimed as Atheist Day. But that's not like an organized thing now, I believe. I don't know. I don't know where that article went where we were looking at it. It's gone now.
Oh, well.
The internet has flushed it.
The internet said bye-bye.
So anyway, happy International Atheist Day.
Yes.
If you can be out, be out. We have people in our group who have professions that give them cause for concern for being public in a place like where we live.
Yep.
It's not, you can't be a teacher and say, I'm an atheist and I'm going to wear a bright atheist shirt and I'm going to go, march around the park. And like, some people don't feel safe to do so. And their reasons for that are valid.
Mm-hmm.
You know who your principals and superintendents and school board members are.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meanwhile, and I think this kind of speaks to what Atheist Day is really all about, if you can be out, be out. So if you can't, then those of us who feel like we can will rattle the chains for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll send the messages to the school board.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Ain't nothing to me. Because I'm not going to lose my job at the school for speaking out on a controversial subject or something.
Russell, in the comments, I hope you're joking. He says, it's a little late to be going out for International Atheist Day now, Sarah. I don't think she meant go out. I think she meant be out. And it's not too late to be out because we have this nifty thing called Facebook.
The internet.
And social media. And you can tweet. And you can Facebook post. And you can Instagram.
You can change your profile picture and add the little circle frame. Yeah, you just search Atheist Day.
You have until midnight to be out. If you can safely be out.
But don't let today be the end of that either. Again,
sure.
It's about changing the culture of having a public. We are the fastest growing demographic in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Non-believers, secular people. The statistics bear that out. And so the problem that we have is because so many people feel that they can't be out, or maybe haven't even considered it or thought about it. Right now, the scales of justice are balanced to the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Our legislators, our elected officials, they are not representative of the American people in pick a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, up until 2 years ago, they were mostly old white men, and now the Democratic Party has just
blown that out of the water,
flourished into this the rainbow of different
diversity.
Yeah. And so we need more of that. We need we need more queer people representing us in our elected bodies, and we need more non-believers and secular people in a world where the evangelical right rules the roost.
Right.
Anyway, if you can be out, be out. It helps advance that idea that that we're here and that you can't legislate without consideration to those people in your constituency who do not necessarily believe the way you do.
Well, and there's a stigma attached to the label. And so, that's like a big part of this fight is erasing that stigma. Yeah. And the easiest way to erase that stigma is to be out and and show that you're not a Satan worshiping
baby eater.
Like, like you're just a normal person, just like everybody else who believes in equality and human rights. And like a big part of that is just reversing that stigma and showing that, that's just a load of crap and it's created by.
Yeah. I think it's, this is an example we hear a lot. I think Seth Andrews may have popularized this. But it's the idea that, if you have built up relationships with people in your community, right? Think about your neighbors. If you've got a neighbor and you're friendly and they may have, invited you to church and you may have said, "Oh, I'll think about it,"
right.
Or like, "Oh, I'm still not sure. Like, I haven't found a church that I like yet." You know what I mean? You may have just kind of dodged the question or brushed it away, but you've spent time getting to know these neighbors, and maybe these are the people that you notify, like, "Hey, we're going to be on vacation next week. Just wanted you guys to know we trust you. Just wanted you to know so you can help keep an eye on
or
the house.
the other
and
way
if you
around.
see anything, if you have those kinds of relationships with people, when the church question comes up, or in general conversation, if you can say, actually, I don't believe that. That's just not something that I buy into. Yeah. If they already have a positive image of who you are, I think Becca is a good person.
Right.
And if they have a stigma of what an atheist is or should be in their mind, it works to force some cognitive dissonance into their brain, and then they have to work around that. Like, oh my God, Becca's an atheist, but she's so nice.
Right.
And that's that's what it's all about. It's about putting a positive face to atheism. Moving on. Oh, hey, the Mueller report is done.
Yeah. Who's read it yet? Dan, what do you got for us?
Don't know anything about it, but it's done. And you have people on the left who are excited and can't wait to see what's in it, like a fucking package on Christmas morning.
I hope it's that kind of package. I really do.
And then you have people on the other side, on the right, who are going, "Yep, see, look, it's done. Tell us what's in it, because there was no collusion." And there's a point there where, so if the Mueller investigation is wrapped up, there are no more indictments coming.
True.
So, what will we learn in the report that could cause further steps to be taken? It's a wait and see. Really. That's. I mean, we can sit here and speculate, but
yeah, there's no point in that.
No, I mean, you've got Pelosi saying, like, look, impeachment is not a thing that we need to waste our time with, and I think that's interesting. I think there's a segment of the Democratic Party that has decided not going to do that. Let's just focus on winning 2020, taking back our country,
right? And
let's do it that way rather than. And there may be something to that. She may have a point of, if we embroil the country in the next however many months, year of impeachment proceedings, does that just wind up Trump's base to come out and vote even more?
Sure.
Like, is that backfire effect happen?
Okay.
Anyway, so I have a video tonight, in addition to all of that BSing that we just pulled off. That was great. Nobody would have known. No.
See, Russell,
so I have
a fake show.
I have a video, and I have like an hour's worth of Florida Man stories.
Don't tell them an hour, because then we'll do it in 30 minutes and they'll all be pissy.
They'll be disappointed. Yeah, you're right. I do want to tell you about I have some listener email, but I want to fangirl for a minute.
Oh, here we go.
So I started a poll in the SarahTalk group.
Okay.
Who did it better? Right? And it was a picture of Anthony Rapp and Rent on a table, doing his Anthony Rapp thing.
Yes.
And Beto O'Rourke.
I really enjoyed the side-by-side.
Wasn't that great?
It was really good.
So I took the two pictures, I put them side by side, I put up a poll, and then I screenshotted it. I screenshot it.
Took a screenshot of it.
And I tweeted the screenshot and tagged Anthony. And he responded and liked it, and I was like,
"Oh, that's awesome!"
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. See, I hadn't heard this yet because I don't tweet. I don't Twitter.
You're in charge of the atheist community of Polk County's Twitter, and you don't tweet.
Really bad. I'm really bad at.
You're fired.
Well, listen.
Anyway.
Go ahead, fire me. Who are you going to find to replace me? I work for free, remember?
That's true. Anyway, I thought that was really cool.
That is really cool.
I did fangirl for a little bit.
Did you tweet Beto too?
No, I should have, I guess.
He probably would have replied too.
Sorry, Beto. Because the screenshot was Beto getting tromped.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Just yet.
I mean, I don't know. If he's a theater junkie, he might get it and appreciate it.
If he doesn't get it, he'll just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, he's a musician, so I would
assume that he's seen Rent.
How I've not seen Rent.
Yeah. Okay, so Dan wants to know,
No.
does Becca have a video?
No. Next. Thank you, next.
I hate that song.
So the listener email
Okay.
Is from Janice, who has written us a couple of times to let us know about a group that she's starting up at the school that she goes to. Hey, Sarah, y'all asked for a follow-up. Oh, it thought I said, hey, Siri. I did not. Y'all asked for a follow-up, so I'm pleased to tell you that our trans and non-binary student organization is official.
Yay.
Our next meeting is next Tuesday, and I'm so excited to help provide this much-needed sense of community for my fellow students. As always, I love the work y'all do on the show. Yours was one of the first voices I heard when I realized I was trans, and I intend on paying it forward. I love that so much.
See, that's worth doing this show every week.
Right,
when
exactly.
You feel like shit.
This is what makes the show worth doing.
Okay.
Until next time, fuck a potato, Janice. I love it.
Fuck a potato. I love it. As I was saying that, I had no idea I was going to get such a great response.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah, oh, it was so good. So, thank you, Janice. I love to hear positive stories. Hearing stuff like that, people out there doing great things, that brings me up a little bit when I'm feeling kind of down. Okay, so let's go into this
video that y'all can't see.
I will, depending on how I sleep tonight. Let me put an asterisk next to this.
We have people coming over tomorrow.
I will try. I will make the effort to mix in the video like I did last week in post. Yeah. So for those of you who watch the video after the show, I will try. No promises.
Does that mean we should not interrupt it at all to make it easier?
That would be a whole lot easier.
Okay.
But it's 10 minutes long, and I'm going to want to interrupt.
Well, it's your editing, babe. You do what you got to do.
The believers behind this latest push say their idea is simple and to the point. Teach the book that has shaped our civilization like no other.
Who in the world would want to ban or censor one of the top 5 impactful books in all of history?
That's Randy Forbes from the Congressional Prayer Caucus Foundation.
We would like to ban that book.
Yeah. I don't want to ban any books. No.
Well,
I'm not banning books. But the Congressional Prayer Caucus Foundation, let me finish my thought while it's in my head.
Sorry.
That is the organization behind Project Blitz that we've been screaming about so freaking much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Dan, for those of you who watch live, I'm sorry. I have to get some new equipment in order to make this all work the way it's supposed to.
It's a pain in the butt to do it the other way. I know you got your hopes up when we started doing it that one way before.
Former Congressman Randy Forbes is helping to lead the charge. His Congressional Prayer Caucus Foundation has joined other Christian groups to promote religious freedom legislation at the state level.
Now, they've got him with a 3-ring binder full of, I assume, legislative. I don't know what's in this book, but he's like very seriously writing on a notepad, and this is staged.
Yeah.
This video is from CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network, home of the Pat Robertson's 700 Club.
What he's actually reading is the files of all of the priests that have been accused of molesting children. because it's a really thick binder, so it surprised me.
President Trump gave them a Twitter shout-out, publicly praising the idea of elective Bible classes for high school students.
Doesn't it just make sense that we should have that book that's been so impactful at least be studied and examined by people who want to study and examine in the place where we go to explore ideas and look at what we're going to do for tomorrow?
In the church is where you should go to study those particular ideas in the way that you suggest, which is one specific set of ideas to the exclusion of all the other ideas. If you had been proposing, I intend to do at least part of this as just a response video separately.
Yeah.
Without the profanity and just maybe for the community group. But if you had been proposing let's learn about all the religions.
Right.
That would be one thing, and I would be closer to your position on that. But what you're suggesting is we learn one specific text, one specific belief of one specific religion, and none others.
Not everyone agrees.
Me.
Religion writer Jonathan Merritt says evangelicals need to remember that the same schools teaching their kids about sexuality and science would now teach them the Bible.
So it seems to me to be kind of a strange ask that you would say, yeah, I want a government employee in a public school teaching my kid about Holy Scripture, because when it comes to a lot of the scholarly consensus on Holy Scripture, these things diverge from majority opinions among evangelicals.
Teaching this subject in the public school system clearly has its complications. For example, back in 1963, the Supreme Court ruled the Bible is worthy of study for its literary and historic qualities. Justices also added it must be presented objectively with no devotional readings.
So that's my problem, really. How do you have an objective study of the Bible when it's all subjective? When you have 40,000 denominations or however many the fuck there are now, and they can't even agree on the basics of the doctrine, which one are you going to teach?
Yeah. Well, and which version are you going to use?
Right.
And which
is there a Holy Trinity or not? Christians can't even agree on that.
And is the Old Testament obsolete? And if it is, are you going to teach the Old Testament, or are you only going to teach the New Testament because the New Testament says the Old? Like, there's so many different variables. I mean,
right.
And you go like state to state curriculum for general education is so vastly different. So it's just stupid.
And in states where these classes already exist, Texas, a little strong on the rum tonight.
Yikes.
Texas, people have gone in and researched these classes and found that, surprise, surprise, they're actually not being taught very objectively after all.
Right. Well, are you surprised? No.
Groups like Freedom from Religion and the ACLU claim that's not happening and have sued school districts in Texas for not presenting the Bible objectively. Their main concern, Christians will use these classes as an opportunity to evangelize.
The problem, critics say, with these bills is that they're really a covert attempt not just to teach the Bible as history or as literature, but to teach the Bible through an interpretive lens, essentially to promote Christian values in public schools.
Forbes and others maintain if schools can objectively teach controversial topics like politics and government, they can do the same with the Bible.
We are not trying to get someone or tell someone they have to believe a certain thing. We're just saying, look at this, the history of this book, look at the importance of the ideas in this book, look at how it plays a role in even the policy in the United States of America. You make your own decisions.
Then why aren't we studying the Quran and the Bhagavad Gita and the Hindu Puranas? Why aren't we studying all of those texts? Because that little glib at the end there gives it all away. because these things were foundational to the formation of America.
No.
And how important these things were in the founding. The Bible is so important.
If they were so important, I don't think America would have been founded the way that it was. And I think that's the point. Everybody having these arguments misses.
Right.
It's a tall order, but worth it, say supporters, to teach such an important book to the next generation.
Supporters. Again, like, they are wearing the cross on their sleeves in this video. Mm-hmm. The supporters of this are not Muslim. The supporters of this are Christian.
Yeah.
They're not atheists. They're not spiritual woo higher power people. Mm-hmm. We're talking about evangelical Christianity.
Yeah. Heather Sells, CBN News.
Well, Florida State Representative Kimberly Daniels has introduced a bill to bring the study of the Bible into Florida public schools, and she joins us now.
So do you remember when we talked about how Kimberly Daniels was going to miss the first day of the legislative session because she had a date with CBN News? Here it is!
Yeah.
This is it.
Oh, yeah.
And Representative Daniels, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me here.
All right, what's the purpose of the bill? What are you trying to do?
Make more Christians.
Well, the purpose of the bill, first of all, it was created out of a consensus for my constituency, and the purpose of the bill is just for people to have an elective, a choice. You know, we're in a time where we're promoting choice for things, and this is not anything that's intrusive, it's not pushed on anyone, but it's there if someone wants to have a Bible course, Greek and Hebrew, as an elective.
And again, if this were about choice, there would be more choices.
Right. It's not a choice. It's a here's your choice.
Right.
No choice.
And as I've said before, the problem with, like, because I've seen every time these stories get posted on social media and the news webs and the news organizations post them, there's a whole battery of people who are non-believers or secular people or non-Christians who say, it's just an elective class. What's the harm? The harm is, even though it's an elective class, there's a violation of the First Amendment. Mm-hmm. The guarantee by our Constitution that no public money should go to religious instruction. And so, by requiring that every public high school in the state is required to offer this class, it's going to have to be funded. And that's taxpayer dollars. In addition to that, we've seen there was a news story that we covered of was it in West Virginia?
Was it?
Of a student in grade school, elementary school,
yeah,
who was bullied by kids because she didn't take the Bible class, smacked a Harry Potter book out of her hand and said, you don't need to be reading this witch magic stuff, you need to be studying the Bible. Kids are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
They're your little assholes. And if you're out there banging the drum about why there should be this class, your kids are probably the assholes who are going to go after my kids who choose not to take the class and get ostracized.
Mm-hmm.
Some mariachi band next door? The hell? I wish you could hear that on the feed.
Ugh.
And that's as simple as it is.
What are your fellow lawmakers making of this? Are you getting any pushback?
I have not gotten any pushback. I haven't met with anyone, but I know.
Stop! What is your job? What do you do in the legislature? You haven't met with anyone.
Well, no wonder you're not getting pushback.
Jesus Christ.
She's probably not meeting with anyone.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that are trying to meet with her.
Ugh. You're not meeting with anybody. You've filed this bill. This is your bill. You haven't met with anybody. Get the hell out of here.
I know that there's some opposition, but I believe that the bill will pass.
Mm-hmm. You look at that. Look on her face.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's smug.
You missed it. Watch this.
Mm-hmm. But I believe that the bill will pass.
Well, good for you.
Right?
Why do you think it's going to pass?
I think it's going to pass because I believe that we have the votes that we need to pass it.
Not because the very first thing you should say is, why do you think your bill is going to pass? Should probably be because it's a great bill and it's something that we need for our state. Like that should be I would think the very first thing is like, because it's a really good thing and we really need it and people support it. No, because we have the votes to.
And most of my colleagues is really not controversial. It's only controversial to special interest groups.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you mean atheist organizations and Freedom from Religion Foundation?
I think that it's going to pass because it's just the time. It's happening in other states. You know, there's seasons for things, and I believe that for such a time as this.
Here comes the Bible reading.
Oh, great.
To everything a season. Turn.
This is the bill that's passing just to have Bible literacy, history, the cultural effect that the Bible has had on our community. It's the number one all-time selling book ever.
It's the number one all-time selling fiction book ever.
Did it beat out Harry Potter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, crap.
It is the number one selling book of all time. That's correct. But that doesn't make it true. And again, like, I'm sure we'll come back to this. They're selling this idea that, it's just history. We're just, it's important that our kids learn history.
You know what? It's not history. It's not proven history.
Even the parts of it that are history, those are the most boring parts anyway. And he begat and begat and begat and begat. Like the family tree of the Bible.
I mean,
nope.
Like you go into and I guess America has a history of changing their history.
Oh, we have a very revisionist view of history.
So it shouldn't surprise me that they're trying to pass the Bible off as history.
Yeah. Well, and this narrative that the Bible was used in forming our country.
What the hell?
That is a revisionist.
Where did that even come from?
History.
Well,
the Bible. So it just makes common sense. And I think really that this is going to pass and being brought to attention so that the question can be posed, what is the problem? We have to ask ourselves, why is it such a problem having the Bible as an elective?
Allow me to enumerate the problems. I mean, we've done half of them already.
One. Not proven fact.
Well, just even...
Two.
Yeah. I want to advocate for evidence-based, science-based instruction in our public schools. And if it's going to be taught as history, if that's what you're suggesting that it be taught as, then yes, then it needs to be accurate.
How many gruesome stories are in the Bible?
Are they going to read the oh shit, I won't remember which book it's in now, but the emissions of the donkeys and oh, Gizmo.
Oh, Gizmo.
She wants to come to you. Yeah, so I mean, you want to know what the problem is. Again, this is preferencing one religion over all others in our public schools with taxpayer dollars.
Mm-hmm.
That's the root of it.
It's not the issue about whether it will pass or not, but it's bringing to light that the agendas that are operating behind the scenes.
Well, I think it's brilliant. I've long thought that if schools aren't teaching the Bible, then students will never understand the foundation of American culture.
Again, revising our history.
David says if she wants to learn history, she should learn how slave owners used Christianity and the Bible to control her ancestors.
Right.
Like,
exactly. And we've had that conversation before about we had that with, we were talking to Nikki and Brent.
Yeah.
Remember, from Unapologetics, and I still have a hard time wrapping my head around the idea that that this was used to oppress your people for so long and forced conversion. And yet the black church is such a huge cultural thing. Yeah.
It's very, very confusing in some aspects.
I don't know the episode number to that, but Nikki made a good point about how people then took the religion of their masters and made it into something for themselves.
Yeah.
I still have issues with the truth claims of the thing, and there's very much problematic language about race, about slavery in the Old Testament and all of that stuff. But
I mean, I guess there's something to be said for taking something horrible and making it work for you. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's all going to come back to the facts and the truth behind it. But, But again, so these people that want to teach the Bible in schools are the same people that also want to, teach controversial topics in science class, a.k.a. creation alongside evolution. I got problems with that, too. Mm-hmm. They want to teach that global warming is not a scientific fact.
The Bible is the formative book for hundreds of years. And to leave it out is going to leave them with a huge vacuum. You don't understand a lot of the very social movements in our culture without an understanding of the Bible.
When we teach our kids history in schools, first of all, I don't think we teach history in schools the right way in the first place. No. It is way too much memorization and regurgitation for testing and not enough understanding.
Right. And I've found most things are like that, not just history.
Right.
All of it is just memorize this so you can take a test.
Yep. So the documents they need to be studying about the founding of our nation are the documents that we wrote to found our nation. And those would be good ones to start with, not the Bible.
Sure. That's the actual
but
documents written by the founding fathers of our nation.
Right. Whatever they thought about the Bible, whatever they thought about God, and for those who did believe in God, many were deists, not Christians. Whatever they believed about that, these are the things they wrote.
Right.
Study that.
Why do you think it's going to bring out these special interest groups?
Because we're living in a time where, though we're supposed to be in a place where people have freedom of speech and freedom of choice, it will literally show how much opposition faith gets and Christianity, because this is not a Christian bill, but people hate Christianity so much that they don't even want people to study the Bible historically or culturally.
I don't hate Christianity. I want you to study it in church where it belongs. I'm not trying to take away your rights. I'm not trying to oppress you. If you're going to teach the Christian Bible in a school, fine. Teach the Quran.
Also.
And, if you say that, and you hold a shell from the ocean up to your ear, you can hear the puckering assholes of every evangelical in the country.
And so I think it draws a line, and it shows that, sometimes we're getting fault for stuff and we're not passing the first lick. But this bill draws a line, and it reveals that there's a lot of persecution.
The persecution? Oh, the persecution complex. I'm a Christian. I'm an American Christian. I can marry whoever I want. I can use whatever restroom I want. I can refuse to serve the queers at my business if I want. What do you mean you won't let me have a Bible class in school? I'm so persecuted. There's a church on every fucking street corner.
Go have one there.
You can stand anywhere in America and throw a rock and hit a church. Fuck your persecution complex. This is about equality. They are trying to reframe the narrative that this is about religious liberty. What we have in America, as granted to us in our founding documents, is religious liberty. The government can't preference one religion over any others, and the government can't impose an undue burden on you to practice your religion as you see fit, as long as it doesn't harm others. That's religious freedom. And that's all we want. I don't want to take your Christianity away. I don't want to shut down your church. I don't want to burn all your Bibles. They won't burn anyway because God's been protecting them lately. But I don't want any of all of that. I just want you to keep... What was the quote? Bibles, religion's like penises. It's fine if you have one, but just the minute you take it out and start waving around in my face or trying to shove it down my kid's throat, then we have a problem.
Right.
Going on in America against people of faith, and me being a black female preacher on from the Democratic Party.
Why do we keep electing this woman?
As a member of the House of Representatives, I think that I get a lot of I'm discriminated against a lot, and it's kind of ignored. So there are things like this that's intertwined.
Because you're a minister?
Well,
yeah, citation needed. Yeah, tell me exactly how this has been happening to you. How are you being discriminated against? I'm sure there are judicial processes for state lawmakers who feel that they're being discriminated against in some way.
Have you filed any?
Yeah, equal opportunity or whatever.
Because of my faith. You know, everybody can come out of the closet. They could say whatever they want to do. They could be whoever they want to do. But don't you come out, if you're a Democrat and you're a black woman, don't you come out and don't you speak out, because we want you to be like us. So they're promoting agendas and things.
She's reading out of the Trump book. You know, there's agendas and things and other things.
And all this stuff.
And so look.
No specific.
Here's the thing. If you feel like you've been ostracized or discriminated or persecuted or whatever, and you're talking, it sure sounds like she's talking about in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to put through all these agendas and whatnot. And, okay, but the Democratic Party has a platform. And equality is on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to be equality in all its forms. And so if you are representing ideas that are antithetical to equality, then somebody's probably going to say something to you.
Yeah.
But let me add this. Ye the persecuted. You were reelected in 2016 in the midst of an ethics investigation, which you later copped to, where for 3 years you failed to report church properties on your required annual financial filings. And they still reelected you.
Oh, yeah.
Where's your fucking persecution? Yeah.
Dan says, how dare she call herself a Democrat?
Well, she is, and they keep electing her.
I don't know. I don't understand that. I really don't.
I don't either.
What county is this? Is up in Jacksonville?
This is Jacksonville, yeah.
Jacksonville, get your shit together. You're embarrassing us.
They are really discriminative and would not allow people to be who they're called to be.
How do we get more Christians to be Democrats?
Oh, this will be good. How do we get more Christians to be Democrats?
I think that's one of the fundamental problems we have.
How do we?
Then it almost sounds like there's a reason.
My brain hurts right now because I can't even understand this line of questioning.
Right.
Oh.
There are a lot of. I think the problem is that there are a lot of Christian Democrats. I mean, it's kind of, and that's why I need to be here, because there's, just like on the side where there are a lot of people that do the things that don't seem Christian-like or to be believers, there are a lot of believers that are in the Democratic Party, but they're just quiet and they're silent. And I always call them the silent majority.
Not a majority. No. We have the data.
So, I guess it's kind of a big fallacy that you...
Fallacy?
Oh, my God. She didn't even know what word she's using.
No.
You can't be a Christian and be a Democrat, and that's why I have to come out. There are a lot of people in the Democratic Party that love Jesus, but they just maybe not as...
How do we get them bold, then? If it's not a question of numbers, it's a question of speaking up. How do we get them bold?
What he's really saying is, how do we get them to back Republican ideas? That's what he's really saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you consider what a liberal Christian might be, right? These are the Christians who go to liberal churches that allow gay clergy and do gay wedding ceremonies and, don't try to control every facet of your life. And they might even support church-state separation, and who the hell knows, they might even be okay with a woman's right to choose what happens with her fucking body.
Mm-hmm.
That's the liberal church.
Right.
That goes against everything the Republican Party stands for.
Well,
everything.
Dan says there's a big difference between believers and zealots.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where the line is.
So his question here, I think, would be better stated: how do we get these liberal Christians to support the conservative Christian ideology?
David wants to know if loving flat Jesus counts.
Sure. Unless you're a dude, then it's gay, and Jesus doesn't like that.
Unless you the color you own.
Right now, there's a lot of forces that are going very left on the national stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like 400 of them are running for office in 2020.
Absolutely. By me coming out, other people coming out and standing for Jesus, no matter, I'm not here as a Democrat or a Republican. I'm here as a believer. I just happen to have House Bill 195 coming up, for a vote. And it's not about Christianity, but it shows where we are in America today. The anti-Christ, God movements, that they're very bold, they're very mean, they're very nasty people. I'm telling you, I know. So some of the things that I go through, you got to have tough skin, and it's got to be like water on a duck's back. But I need.
She's just. What is she talking about? She's just rambling now, like she's backed into a corner and doesn't really know what to say. We are nasty people. What can I say?
Well,
I need to be here because I'm not scared.
Well, I want to really quickly highlight one more bill that you've put out, and that is to help pregnant mothers. Why?
All right, let's go down this road. What the hell? We got the time.
That bill, I think that one is crucial going forward.
Well, to the bill that we have, which bill are you referring to?
That was in the
She doesn't even know her own bill? Oh, this is so worth it.
Oh, God.
Go on.
Actually, they gave me, and I don't have the bill
Hang
number.
on, let me rock it back a minute. Oh, that was so funny.
Well, to the bill that we have, which bill are you referring to?
That was in the fact sheet they gave me, and I don't have the bill number. But you're trying to provide assistance for women who are facing pregnancy.
Okay, but me being I had a baby in the 12th grade, and I understand what it's like to be young and to be pregnant and to be afraid. And if we're going to take our resources and direct them, we need to direct them to mothers in the pregnancy stages because it's so crucial, and having a good support system could possibly stop that child from having birth defects or the mother being sick. So pregnant women is high on my priority, and I believe that as a member of the House of Representatives, I don't have a problem championing legislation of that kind.
All right. Okay. Well,
Okay, I can't.
We're done.
I can't. Wait a minute.
That was a really bad interview question.
Basically, she just advocated that if you have great support during your pregnancy, that will decrease the chances that your child would be born with birth defects. Did I hear her right?
It sounded like it.
God, what kind of ignorant motherfuckers. Please, somebody please vote her out, please. Can we just I
so love the fact that she doesn't even know what
no
bill
idea.
she's filing.
No idea.
No clue. All right.
Wow.
If you're in Florida, write your fucking legislators.
Is that our
legislators,
stupid
please.
Florida man this week?
No.
Should be.
That's House Bill 195, the Bible in public schools class. Don't let that happen. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, all I got left is Florida man. But there's a lot of them. We'll be back. You're listening to Sarah Talk.
In today's health-conscious society, you have many beverage choices. But do you know what's in all of them? So much sugar, sodium, and things you can't even pronounce. Dihydrogen monoxide. What's that? Sometimes you wish you just had a simple, more elegant solution for your beverage needs. Introducing H2O, the first ever chemical-free thirst quencher. H2O is simple, simply composed of 3 portions of 2 elements, hydrogen and oxygen. H2O means chemical-free, unlike water, which is filled with all sorts of shit. When we tested H2O, we found traces of no other elements. So pure, the bottle may as well be fucking empty, with all the same nutritional content as a breath of cool mountain air. First widely featured on Goop.com, actress Gwyneth Paltrow revealed that she exclusively uses H2O for her vaginal steaming process. After all, why use water when you can steam it with H2O? So now we invite you to run out to your local garden hose and drink that shit. Remember, it's not water, it's H2O.
H2O bottled by Flint Bottling Company in Flint, Michigan. Product not actually endorsed by Goop or Gwyneth Paltrow. Please do not use H2O for vaginal steaming, or better yet, please do not steam your vagina. H2O is actually just water. Water is a set of molecular compounds. It's a chemical. Everything is a chemical.
You let Jesus into your heart. Now it's time to bring him into your home with Flat Jesus. Take photos of Flat Jesus in questionable situations and share with the hashtag FlatJesus. Flat Jesus comes in 4 fun styles. Color your own Jesus, historically accurate brown Jesus, TSA approved white Jesus, and everybody's favorite, white Republican Jesus with American flag, assault rifle, and bald eagle accessories. But don't wait, apostates. Download your very own Flat Jesus right now at SarahTalk.com/Jesus. That's SarahTalk.com/Jesus now for your free Flat Jesus. The Bible says the earth is flat. Maybe Jesus was too.
Hello, my friends. This is Sister Mary Atheist of the Church of Religious Avoidance down here in Bumblefuck, Alabama. Now, my friends, my people, my brothers and sisters, do you feel lost? Do you feel that swelling urge to be a part of something better? Well, let the word of SarahTalk help you. If you've never known the word SarahTalk, learn it, live it, love it. Can I get an amen? No? Good, because we don't do that shit around here. My friends, we must all remember that the good word of SarahTalk doesn't happen for free. So get yourself over to patreon.com/SarahTalk and help us spread the word. plant that seed and help it grow into secular, peer-reviewed empirical evidence for the good of all. In the name of the Sarah, the Becca, and the Science-Based Podcast, amen, hallelujah, and holy shit.
SarahTalk is horrible.
These are tough people.
They prey on the vulnerable. They hurt women and children. They spread human misery and suffering. I'll tell you what, SarahTalk should be ashamed of itself. Sarah, you are a rude, terrible person. The way you treat Donald Trump is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run SarahTalk. And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
Are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Thank you, Mr. President. I love that so much.
We really need a nice one, like maybe Bernie Sanders.
Oh, that would be great.
Barack Obama might be easy to do too.
Oh yeah, Obama. Well, what you have to do is you have to find an archive of all of the speeches, and so Obama's would be that's out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, because it needs. So the thing about the Trump one is there is a website that archived all of these speeches and transcribed them.
Right.
So when I need Trump to say SarahTalk, I find one where he's talking about Sarah Huckabee Sanders,
right,
and pull that little clip,
yep,
and then I type in talk,
right,
and find him saying the word talk,
right.
Like it's all searchable, this database. So I'd need something similar. Yeah. Bernie would be great, though.
Bernie
I would
be
love
good.
that.
Obama would be good. Just saying, if you want more work to do.
Right. Hey, if you want to record a bumper for us, you can do that. You can call and just record it into our voicemail at 224-40-SARAH, 224-407-2724. You can record it as a voice memo and text it to that number. You can send a file to producer@sarahtalk.com, WAV or MP3. Anthony Rapp, if you're listening, we'd love to have Anthony Rapp saying, hey, this is Anthony, and you're listening to SarahTalk. That'd be great. Just saying.
Russell wants RBG. I don't think that there's going to be enough of her, like, actually
saying the words that we need her to say now.
Yeah.
That would be cool, though.
That would be really cool.
I mean, all of that, like, oral argument is all recorded.
Yeah, it would be really hard, though, to find.
Yeah.
Like, very specific. Yeah.
Right. Well, hey, before we get back to the show, thank you to all of our wonderful patrons. Your financial support keeps this thing going, and we appreciate it very much. For as little as $1 an episode, you can join our great patron family at patreon.com/SarahTalk. Or you can support the show for free by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple or Google Podcasts or wherever you listen to the show. And please, please, please share these episodes out with anyone whom you think would enjoy it. And speaking of these patrons, there's an elite class of patrons.
A what?
Our top patrons.
Oh.
These are the folks who contribute $5 per episode or more.
I feel like it's really, really rude to give all the credit to the top patrons, because I know that our bottom patrons work just as hard. Go on.
Repping for the bottoms.
Well, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Well, so our top patrons this week. Part-time patron Russell. Mandy Imus. Subscribed on Patreon, and all I got was a bowl of dicks.
Whoa! What?
And Bougie Chatroom Diva.
Wait a minute. Okay, so the bowl of dicks has to be John Willard.
Yes, right. And the Bougie Chatroom Diva. It's obviously Dan.
Dan. You're not bougie. You're a diva. I wouldn't call you bougie, though.
Well, you can call yourself whatever the hell you want if you go to Patreon, become a supporter, and you can change your name every week, and we'll read whatever stupid shit you write.
I'm going to start changing my name every week.
That would be funny. Okay, let's do the Florida Man.
To the Gatormobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
We need a little animation to play at the beginning of it. It's too bad Britain moved away to go be a legitimate animator. We need somebody to...
Okay, so you know what went through my head? This is really funny. Okay, so you're from Illinois. Obviously, you know the chicken car.
Yep.
I was thinking we need an alligator car.
Now I'm going to have to post a picture of the chicken car. Oh my God, that's a great idea.
And a guy wearing nothing but cut off overalls.
Oh my God, and that's such a great idea.
What's the crocodile hunter? Crocodile Dundee. Remember his hat?
God, that's so great. We need an alligator car.
Oh, Russell says a video animation, and it will be played?
Yes.
Oh, my God, I need an animator. See, I come up with the ideas. I just can't animate shit.
Okay, the very first Florida man story this week is a Florida woman. A Florida woman nearly drowned after plowing over a fire hydrant during a drunken joyride.
Oh, shit.
Emergency crews said Alexandria Runyon, 22, smashed into a fire hydrant, causing water to spill out so fast her car was swallowed into a watery hole nearly 8 foot deep and 20 feet wide.
Shit!
Some good Samaritans tried to help, but the hole opened under her car.
Oh, my God.
Luckily, no one was hurt. Crews were able to rescue both Runyon and the woman who tried to help her.
Oh, my God. She was drunk?
She was drunk.
Of course she was.
Smashed into a fire hydrant.
Wow.
Flooded out. Sinkhole. That's a problem we have
Florida here. Sinkhole. Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
So hold please. Dan says, can't even simulcast YouTube videos, and now we're talking about segment animations? Really?
Yes. Yes, we are.
We can dream, Dan.
Dream big. Okay, the next Florida man story. A Florida Arby's manager is facing felony charges after an altercation with another employee last weekend. According to a police report, Lateria Akins, 21, is charged with aggravated assault, battery, and criminal mischief after a heated exchange with employee Ernst Point du Jour claims that Akins... I can't do this.
I need to read this story? How much rum have you had?
Claims that Akins asked him to stay late Saturday night, and when he refused, the two exchanged words. Coworkers say that Pont du Jour was angry about not being released from work and got very close to Akins. That's when Pont du Jour claims Akins shot pepper spray into his eyes. When he ran out of the store, coworkers claim, Akins grabbed a long kitchen knife and chased after him. Although Pont du Jour wasn't stabbed, Akins did scratch up his car with the knife, according to police. The next story.
I might pick that one just because of the ridiculousness of the names, but okay.
A Pinellas County woman was arrested after she tried to steal $10 worth of merchandise from a beauty supply store on Monday.
What kind of beauty?
And I don't know, $10, $10, that's it.
That could be a mascara or a lipstick. It's
right.
Depending on what store you're in.
Right.
It could be 30 lipsticks if you're in the right store. Go on.
An arrest affidavit says Tammy Lynn Bonefield, 45, put a pin in that, 45, grabbed and punched one employee, then kicked another one after she was confronted. She was transported to jail in a van, which was also apparently transporting a boy who was less than 16 years old. The child was separated from her by a metal partition. The affidavit claims she made sexual comments to him and exposed her breasts and genitals. While her pants were pulled down, she masturbated and asked if he was aroused. She was then further charged with lewd and lascivious exhibition for the van incident, along with the battery and petty theft. Last month, Bonefield had another encounter with law enforcement where she reportedly identified herself as, quote, Black Sheep Trouble Squarepants, end quote, and was charged with providing a false name or identity.
So you remember what I said about that last story and the ridiculousness of the... What the... Where do you... What the... Ow, that was not funny.
That was stupid. Why'd you do that?
Ow.
Before we go on, I do want to mention, there's one story left, but this week, a Florida man took the nation by storm, took the internet by storm, when everybody and their brother realized that if you type Florida man and your birthday, it will come back with some stupid Florida man story.
Anything you type in your birthday is going to give you something stupid.
Right. And so I gotta tell you, when I saw this thing starting to trend, I thought, oh, fuck me. Everybody and their brother is going to post this shit. I get people posting, if you can make a food that is made from or tastes like dill pickles, there are 5 people out there who will share it to my timeline. Thought of you. Haven't talked to me in 6 goddamn months, but the whole pickle thing made me think of you. And I expected the same thing to happen with this. I expected tens of people.
Calm down. It's okay.
To share.
I know pickles should remain pickles and not become frosting for cakes. They should never be deep fried in Oreo batter.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
What? I can't know.
No. Go on.
Anyway, I just expected, a whole bunch of people to share this to my Facebook. And pleasantly, I was surprised it was only like one or two.
Who did it?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Who's the rat? I mean, no, you're the rat, and you tell me. No, snitches get stitches.
What is wrong with you? How much have you had to drink tonight?
Tell me who it was.
So anyway.
She's not going to budge.
If you've all been spending all week researching your Florida man birthday story, good for you. The next story,
finally. Are you going to share your Florida man birthday story?
No, you looked it up, though.
I looked up mine. This is the funniest story, and I don't remember what the story was now. But I looked up mine.
Look it up again.
Okay, fine. I'll tell the story as I'm looking it up.
Okay, good.
I looked up mine, and it was, funny because it happened on my birthday, but it was published on Sarah's birthday. So it was like a twofer. It was really cool. Hold on.
You were supposed to be looking it up while you were telling the story.
I can't talk and do stuff at the same time.
Should I read the final story while you're looking it up, and then you can tell the story about your story?
I got it.
Oh. Do I need to play the elevator music?
Maybe.
Do I need to buy a mute button?
Maybe. This isn't the one I saw.
All right,
whatever.
Fine. Finally, tonight, I want to read the first paragraph of an article in the USA Today. A couple of you sent this over to me, and I think I'm pretty sure I heard this on NPR at one point, which makes it even better. But I do want to clarify a couple of points. From USA Today Sports, theme nights are all the rage in minor league baseball, but the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp may top them all by hosting Florida Man Night this summer. Okay, a few points. First, nothing is all the rage in minor league anything. Nobody gives a fuck. Second, no one has heard of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. No one. Nobody has heard of these people. And this Florida Man Night, third, seems maybe a little dangerous.
A little bit.
The Miami Marlins affiliate says the event will feature a weird Florida law being broken every inning on July 26th.
What?
July 26th, when the team plays the Biloxi Shuckers, which no one has ever heard of either. The whole thing is being sponsored by a local law office, and famed Florida man Lane Pittman, made famous for that photo of him holding an American flag in the middle of a hurricane. You've seen that one.
Yeah, that guy.
Pittman will be in attendance at the event. Nobody's leaking any information about what weird laws might be on the list to break that night. So I've turned to the black hole of the internet, where your time is just hauled off to a landfill, never to be seen again. Website Ranker.
Oh, God.
For some stupid Florida laws. Disclaimer, I did not fact-check any of these, but let's be honest, the 10 people who listen to this show don't give a fuck. Number 1.
Or they'll fact-check it for us.
Yeah, right. Number 1. Having sexual relations with a porcupine is illegal.
Holy fuck. Like, literally, because if you fuck it, you'll have holes in you. Sorry. Oh, God. Go on.
Number 2. Much to our dismay, it is illegal to sell your children.
Oh, man.
We have to come up with a plan B.
Can we give them away?
Number 3. You may not fart in a public place after 6 p.m. Good luck.
What the fuck?
Number 4. It is illegal to sing in a public place while attired in a swimsuit. Number 5. A special law prohibits unmarried women from parachuting on Sunday, or she shall risk arrest, fine, and or jailing.
What?
Every state has stupid fucking laws like
I want
this.
to call the parachute companies and ask them if they...
Well, you're married. So you
no, but like, do they vet this? Like, if I want to take me and my single girls out for parachuting on Sunday, is that going to be a thing?
Yeah. Interesting. And finally, number 6. If an elephant is left tied to a parking meter, the parking fee has to be paid just as it would for a vehicle.
I would love to know
Stupid
who leaves
Florida
elephants
laws.
at parking meters.
Who's going to... What
and where
laws,
are you going to stick the ticket?
What stupid laws are they going to break at this Florida Man night?
Well, Miami Marlins Stadium is roofless, so if the game is on a Sunday, they could have some single ladies parachute into the
while
field.
Playing all the single ladies.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That would be great.
I don't know that they do the porcupine thing.
Yeah, no, let's not have like group porcupine sex in the middle of a
if the game's an evening game, the amount of hot dogs they sell at those games, I'm sure there's going to be a shit ton of people farting.
There was one also that you could not wear like provocative attire while selling hot dogs.
Maybe
if you're a hot dog
the
vendor.
person that sings the national anthem wear a swimsuit.
That could be. No, that's legitimate. That could be.
See, I grew up in like what? 20 minutes from that stadium. I've been there. Those people are not.
Oh, so you've heard of these? Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
No, that's not Jacksonville though. This is Miami
say?
Marlins, right? Is that the team? Is that the stadium?
It's it's their minor league team, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Oh,
that no one has heard of.
Okay, I thought for some reason I was
they're
thinking it was the
they're
Marlins
a Marlins
stadium.
affiliate.
Okay,
they're the minor league to the Marlins.
So I don't know. If it's in Jacksonville, I have no idea.
Nobody knows.
I was thinking it was in Miami, and I was like, well, this makes sense for Miami.
Oh, my God. So I don't know whether to vote on, like, which Florida story is the funniest, or, like, which stupid law we want to break.
Like, I need a follow-up on this. Like, I need a, what's it called?
A follow-up?
No, I need an investigative reporter to go to this event.
Oh.
And report back to me.
We need a
man in the field.
A man.
Or a woman in the
or
field.
A non-binary person.
And if you want to wear
Jesus
a swimsuit
Christ.
and sing the national anthem, you go right ahead. And if you end up in jail, don't call us for bail. It rhymed. That was great.
You need special help. Okay.
Well, hello, I'm drinking out of a unicorn's butt.
I didn't make up any fancy names for these, but here's what you got. You've got the fire hydrant sinkhole. You got another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody to work late, so I'm gonna pepper spray your ass and chase you around with a knife. You got Black Sheep Trouble SquarePants and Florida Man Night. I really want to know what happens at Florida Man Night. As stupid as it is, as minor league nobody as it is, I really want to know what they're going to do.
Oh, my gosh. I'll have to call Bailey and Kaylin. They're, like, not too far from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get them to go to Florida Man Night. Oh, you ran out of music. Wow, I thought they would just play on loop all night while we deliberated.
Russell is proving here that he has way too much useless knowledge about sport things.
No, it's because he lives down there.
Oh, no, I understand that. He doesn't live in Jacksonville, though, but he's...
Well, yeah, but
I know all about them.
He's Russell. Of course he knows about sports.
Do you have a favorite story or favorite stupid law? Thoughts?
I really like the Florida Man Night story. I just feel like I need more to it, so I can't vote for it.
And perhaps, what date was that? Perhaps after July 26th, we'll be able to report
in July?
back.
Oh, I got time to plan. I'm taking a 3-day weekend. I'm going to go. And then I will let you know.
That's not true.
No, it's July. Spring. It's summer break.
But hey, if somebody wants to go, that would be funny.
Hey, Russell, you up for a road trip? Okay. I'm going to go with the sinkhole fire hydrant.
Wow, it looks like you're alone. Dan says Black Sheep, Trouble Square Pants.
I think
David, Florida Man Night.
I almost would have voted for that one, but there was a minor involved, and I think something about it just made me...
Yeah, I mean... how do I even want to say it?
I mean...
It's almost
I would love to hear his side of the story.
I didn't realize that, like, carpooling...
to jail was a thing?
Jail was as big a thing as it seems to be.
I didn't realize that either.
Did they just drive this under 16-year-old around for a couple hours picking up other people? Like, we'll go to jail in a little bit, but we got to make a couple other stops first.
I doubt it.
Like, how does that work? I don't understand.
I doubt that's what happened.
No.
Dan tells me quit trying to sway the vote. I'm not. I'm just saying why I didn't vote for it, because Sarah had to point out that I was all alone. Well, who?
I think the Florida Man Night, I think that's my vote. I really want to see which laws they pick.
Yeah.
Because this is all, like, just conjecture. And,
yeah.
We don't really know what goofy stuff they're going to try to do. There's also a part of me that's like, again, nobody's heard of these people, and who cares? But
like, I think what it kind of almost reminded me of is, remember when we went to that hockey game?
Yeah.
And they were like saying, Toothless Tuesday, come by the box office, and if you're missing a tooth, we'll give you free tickets to the Tuesday game.
Yes.
Like, that's the level we're on right here. It's not professional sports. It's amateur leagues. And so they have to do crazy shit like this to keep people interested.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so listen, before we end out the show here, that's it, we're done. But before we end out the show, I have another ask.
Oh.
Okay. And I know...
I'm not tickling your back tonight.
Yes, you are. I know we constantly ask you to support us on Patreon or with a one-time PayPal contribution, but this week, I want to ask you for your support for cancer research. The atheist community of Polk County has a team at our local Relay for Life on April 12th, so we have less than 20 days to meet our fundraising goal, and we could definitely use the help. Supporting the lofty goal of finally figuring out how to fucking beat cancer is enough of a motivator on its own, but I'm going to give you a few other reasons that you might want to chip in. First, there are at least 2 churches participating that have teams, and it would be freaking awesome for the atheist group to raise a competitive amount of money. I'm not saying we want to trounce them, but it would be,
but
it would be great if we were competitive, right?
Yeah.
And any amount you can give will be greatly appreciated. Part of what we're doing here is we're putting a positive face to atheism while also supporting the American Cancer Society, right? So, like we talked about with Atheist Day, this is about, like, we are just people. And the difference between me and the Christian we just differ on things that we believe are true. We're not differing in whether or not we're good people. We're both good people. We both want good things for humanity. And so by participating in an event like this, we're showing our community, hey, it's this charity thing is not just a church thing. The atheists are going to come out too. Now, as even more of an incentive, and I haven't thought this all the way through yet, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Anyone from the SarahTalk audience that donates $30 or more will get a special gift.
Oh, what kind of gift?
What's
She hasn't thought it all the way through. That's why I'm
I will write, anyone who donates $30 or more, I will write a Florida Man-style news story about you.
Oh!
And we'll read it on an upcoming show.
Well, that's good.
What do you think?
That's good.
$30 or more. What stupid thing will you make the news for? Go to Polk.
I like that.
polkatheists.org/relay and make a donation to either myself or our team.
Dan's already got it in the comments. Dan, you're a rock star.
Dan is the best. We need to hire and pay him.
You could write a Florida Man story about him. I'm kidding.
Yes. Again, go to polkatheists.org/relay, make a donation to either myself or the team, and if you donate $30 or more, we'll make you Florida Man famous. Well, sort of.
Florida Man SarahTalk famous.
That's Polk Atheists, POLK atheists.org/relay.
I dig it.
And that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you all for listening. Thanks to the patrons for patroning. Thanks to Robert Mueller. I hope that's not premature. Thanks to Kimberly Daniels, I guess. I don't know.
No, I don't think that,
Fuck
bitch.
that. We'll see you next week. You've been listening to SarahTalk.
SarahTalk is made possible by listener support. Visit patreon.com/SarahTalk to become a patron and help keep this program going. Contact Sarah and Company by email at producer@sarahtalk.com or call 224-40-SARAH. That's 224-407-2724. And follow us on social media, facebook.com/SarahTalkRadio and on Twitter @SarahTalkRadio. The opinions and information provided on this show are intended for entertainment purposes only. All opinions are solely that of the hosts and their guests. We make no representations as to accuracy, completeness, timeliness, or validity of any information and will not be liable for any errors or damages. SarahTalk is a production of Sarah Austin Media.